So tell us so far how are you feeling about your tribe, especially you're going back into the pit again tonight.
Look, this tribe is probably one of the strongest bonds I've had, I think, with any starting tribe in a game so far. I've found a way to where I feel like I'm connected with pretty much everyone at this point, and some of that's my doing, some of it's not. The main people I'm working the closest with right now are Jess, Aaron, Corey, and Chantel. Those are the four that I want to prioritize the most. I've gotten really great vibes from all of them. Erin is probably my number one right now, especially based off the conversation that we had last night. She said something along the lines of like, I'm not really in this game to win. I'm in this game to make connections, and I want to get the person that like I want to see win, as far as they possibly can. And she was talking about me. And yeah, I mean that's someone that's like a really great ally for me. She's just someone I really love conversating with. I like that we're able to have conversations about things that aren't just about the game. We can talk about like, our college classes, we can talk about movies, like we can talk about a large like variety of topics, and that's something that I really do appreciate from her. And then Jess Rudolph, I was always I was always going to try to make an effort to work with Jess in some capacity. But Jess and I have bonded very well, I think, in this game. We have very similar energies, and definitely someone that I want to, that's something I want to take advantage of in the game for sure. I think that she's someone that I can definitely go very far with. I think that we both are I think that we both are in very, not necessarily similar positions, but I think us working together definitely would benefit us for sure. Corey also is someone that like I've known for a little bit now, haven't talked to in like a few years, but like I said, he recognized me from like Sequester and things like that. So like, I was excited to see Corey in this game, and I got pulled into an alliance that he essentially, created, the Extinguishers. It's myself, Corey, Chantel, Josh, and Liam. So yeah, I'm, I'm in that alliance, which in my personal opinion is not something I'm putting too much stock in. I don't want to like be in this like super powerful alliance where it's like these are my people, I'm going to stick closest to them, and then everyone else is like not as important. Like I want to try to prioritize the connections that like I really want to have in this game. And it's not like I don't want the Extinguishers. It's just right now I see them as like cushioning. Like they're here for protection. They're here for keeping me safe until I don't really need them anymore. I'm going to stay loyal for now, but it's one of those things where it's like if a merge happens or a swap happens and we're not as close, it's okay because I, again, have those other connections. And then David, let's talk about David. David is probably going home tonight. I'd be very surprised if anything else really does happen. He has just I don't think he's done a great job on this tribe. He wasn't here at all week one. He's since tried to like put in some effort to make up for it, but it's just come across as like very ingenuine to me. And literally on the call last night, that I had with him, the one-on-one, he literally basically gave me the impression that the only reason he reached out to me was because I'm one of only two people he hasn't called with. So yeah, he's not really on my good side right now. I don't think it's beneficial for me to keep him in this game. Yes, he's offered me like a final two and things like that, but one, I don't see David having any longevity in this game. Like just the way he's playing right now, I don't think it benefits really anyone. Also, there just really is no other option for me at this point. So yeah, David's definitely, I think, going to be the one to go. But overall, I've enjoyed this tribe immensely, and I'm ready for a swap. I think a swap's probably going to happen tonight because I don't want to have to keep voting these people out yet. Eventually, yes, but not this early on.
Okay. Jen, feel free to ask a question if you have one. But how do you feel? Like, I mean, you kind of stated like where you
Yeah.
stand with individual people in the game,
Right.
was on your tribe. But how do you feel overall, like where you stand as a whole?
I'd like to think I'm in a pretty good position. I think people see me as someone that, and what I think I've done a good job with in this game is that I'm not really here to be like game body and strategic and things like that. I'm really just trying to make the connections that I can, but then also have that affect, my overall like standing in the game. Like by being a lot more social, trying to reach out to people, talk about things that aren't just about the game and things like that. I'm showing that genuine side of me. And I think that's something that is working very well here. I think a lot of people just really appreciate my presence. And yeah, overall, I'd like to think I'm in a pretty good position. I think heading into a swap, I mean, people like Chantel literally messaged me today saying like we need each other in the game and things like that. So like, and that like we have to stick together like no matter what happens in a swap. And I'm definitely like inclined to do that. So yeah, I'd like to say I'm in a pretty decent position. I don't want to like, I don't want to like say I'm in like the best position ever or anything because you can never be too sure in these games. But I would definitely like to think from my perspective, like I'm definitely in a pretty solid position on this tribe.
Okay. I'm assuming Jen's driving home, so that's why she's moving.
Yeah.
But I do have a question from the VL.
Okay.
Sorry, questions from the VL. First, rank the tribe from your favorite to least favorite. So, like,
Ooh.
I guess from 1 being your favorite, 8 being the least favorite.
Oh, okay. Number 1 is definitely Aaron. Like I said, very refreshing. Personality, I feel like. I see so many people in games and they're just super game body and it's so hard to read them and everything you talk about them is just game, game, game. And Aaron's just not like that at all. Like, yeah, we talk about game, but we talk just as much about like, stuff going on within our lives. And that's something that I just really appreciate. And especially her last night, being so honest about her, again, not really caring about winning, just caring about making those genuine connections and just really going on about that. It was really refreshing to see. She's just a really nice person. And I think we need more Aarons in the community. So definitely she's my number 1. And then Jess is a very close second, I feel like. Again, I just think we vibed very well. And she's definitely someone that like I want to look out for. I think she's, definitely done a good job of looking out for me so far. And as long as we can continue to do that, like she's definitely 2. 3, I think, is probably Corey. Corey and I have had some really good conversations overall. And Corey even said like he wants to ride this thing out with me to the end. So, and I'm not really sure if I feel that way so far because I definitely feel like Corey's someone that is in a really strong position right now, but I definitely do want to make it far with him in the game. So yeah, I'd probably put Corey at 3. Chantel's at 4. Just a really fun personality overall. Someone that is just someone that I think, especially when like, something bad's happening in the tribe, like we've lost or something like that. She has a way of like hyping everyone up and staying so positive, and it's just absolutely infectious. I just absolutely loved talking to her, and I hope I hope she's able to stick around for a long time. So she's probably at 4. Josh is 5. Here's my reads on Josh. I definitely want to try to work with Josh for a bit, but it's also Josh, and I've played with Josh so many fucking times, and we know how Josh is. Like, he's so game body in that way. It's so hard to get like a fucking read on him. So it's like, I definitely do want to work with him, and he said to me that he wants us to be on the same page. I just know how Josh can be, and so I'm trying to not put too much stock into that connection, because if I do, it could lead me to, trying to throw out another easy vote, as we all know how that's gone before, and it not working out. So I'm just trying to like stay on his good side for now. Let's see how it works. We're in the Extinguishers, which, like I said, from my perspective, isn't that serious of an alliance. But it's enough right now for Josh to stay loyal to me. I would say Lee is probably at 6. I definitely like Lee. I've talked to him a little bit, and I think again we're in the Extinguishers, so that definitely does help quite a bit. So yeah, I definitely, he's not really at the top of my list, but he's someone that I enjoy talking to overall. And then David's at 7, obviously. I just feel like David, again, I just don't see much in terms of longevity when it comes to David in this game. A lot of what he said to me, it just comes across as very fake. Seems like a very nice person. We had a really good like conversation about, things that he's like really passionate about and things like that. And that's something that I did appreciate, but just with the way things are going, I don't think keeping him around is good for my game right now, especially if he is going to now try to throw my name out to people when he literally asked me why I would vote him out, and I gave him a straightforward, honest answer. If he's gonna go around and like try to get people to vote me out, that's fucking stupid, because like you should not feel betrayed by me in any way. I literally was one of like 2 people you didn't reach out to until now, and that's on you. Like at this point, that's entirely on you. I tried reaching out to him multiple times, and he was gone. He just like barely responded to me. And then the one time where like we get on a call, he's like, "Oh, well, I haven't talked to you and Corey yet." It's just like, yeah. So David's definitely ranked last.
All right. Last question from the VL
Okay.
is, who do you consider to be the most fascinating person you've met in the game so far?
Ooh, I would say it's a tie between Erin and Chantel. And the reason I say that is because, again, Erin, just her mindset in the game and things like that. And then Chantel, again, is just a very fascinating person. I think I could watch her pretty much talk about anything. And so I would probably say those two. I always try to look for, people like fresher faces that I haven't seen before. And I have seen like Erin and Chantal. I know that they both have played like Isle of Money and things like that. But aside from that, I haven't really seen either of them play anything else. So it's really cool to get to play in this game with them. And they're both like just really cool people to have gotten to know. And so I would definitely say the 2 of them.
Okay. Again, final thoughts. Not final thoughts. Jen, if you have any last minute questions you want to ask Kevin, feel free. I'm assuming you're driving again. If you don't mute in the next 2 seconds.
I have a question.
Okay.
Sure.
Actually, I don't have a question.
Oh, wow. That was a great question, Jen.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jen, for the fabulous question. Before I stop the recording.
My pleasure. My pleasure always.
All right. So, Kevin, right before we close this, any last minute thoughts you'd like to share?
Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure the announcement is that we're gonna be swapping, and I'm definitely down for that, because that tribe, my God, that tribe seems messy as hell due to what if what we saw last night on the Zoom is any indication of the dynamics of that tribe. That definitely is not going to be a united tribe, so that's probably going to put us in a better spot. I hope we can get like a nice like 50-50 split. I know that's very unlikely, but it'd be very cool if that happened. Just because, like, if I can keep some people from this tribe on a tribe with me and then have some people from the newer tribe who I also do want to get to know, on my good side as well, I think that's gonna do. I think that's gonna put me in the best possible position. There is obviously there's definitely a possibility that Mike and I could finally be on the same tribe, and Mike is like such a non-factor in my game at the moment because we have not been able to talk at all. So like actually having him in the game, I don't know what's going to happen there. I think I have an idea of what I'm gonna do, but I don't really want to say that until we're on the same tribe, because I think I know what I want to do about that, but we'll have to see what happens. But either way, yeah, I'm really enjoying this game so far. I hope that tonight's vote is just pretty much what we've said. If David writes my name down, whatever, like I certainly hope he doesn't, because I feel like there's no reason for him not to put down Corey's name right now. Like he literally hasn't fucking talked to Corey. Like what is the harm in like putting down Corey's name? And like I love Corey to death, just from the conversations we've had and from knowing him. But like I definitely feel like David and Corey haven't chatted at all, whereas I'm someone you have chatted to a little bit. I don't understand why he was like upset when he literally asked me that question. Like, I feel like if I didn't answer that question, that would have been worse for me because then it would make me seem really fucking fake. So I just don't understand. But anyway, I'm just hoping all goes well. I'm hoping that, the swap turns out to be a really good one for me. I'm pretty confident that I'm going to survive and whatnot, but you can never be too sure. So fingers crossed.